right, with the platform getting closer and closer to launch, we have basically finalized QA3, which is the last QA, and then there's just a few more things that we're going through with bug fixes, things that need to be on there now, and change requests that we're planning like almost immediately after deployment, so we can start iterating based off of initial user feedback, or I guess not user but pre-user feedback. But something that we're going to talk about right now, and we've been considering for the past, is making a grand slam offer when we're ready to charge. Because right now it's going to be free, and the more we think about it, the more that it's a useful product, but it's more so we're building the foundation for what will really be industry changing in the near future. So for example, the biggest pain points that investors have are the lack of speed, and that kind of is rooted in a few different things of sourcing the deal, so like going through many different listings, getting different emails, reading through all the information or lack of information, and having to call the wholesalers, and all of that comes in the way of just finding the right deal and getting to the closing table. The next thing is the trust. So investors knowing that the deal on the table is an actual deal, owned or have interest, like an equitable interest in that deal, so that they're not dealing and wasting their time. So we're immediately solving the latter problem. The first and foremost problem is starting to get solved, because they'll be able to come to a platform where all the deals are verified and all the deals are in one place. However, the value point at which it would start making sense to charge or figure out a pricing model that works for them is when it's not the fact that they have to go and find their next deal, it's when the right deal for them gets sent to them. And the way we do this will be by, actually, I don't know if I want to talk about that just yet, but basically criteria and like what they're looking for and getting the right deals, because there are a few things out there that do this, but nobody does it well, and either you don't get enough deals or you get bombarded with them, and it just becomes the same as looking through the listings. On the wholesaler side, the pain points are, again, speed of closing a transaction or assigning a transaction, and the point at which we can charge and should charge. There could be a possibility where we could charge from the beginning, but we're not going to do that because it's much more valuable to get the users on there, get them using it. The only reason we'd want to charge is to have its perceived value be increased. But the true offer there would be when we can guarantee that they can assign their contract X amount faster or in X amount of days, so that they don't have to worry about doing weeks of dispo to get their deal assigned and closed. Instead, they list it on PropertyDeals for, call it 4 days, 5 days, and within those days, if it's a good deal, it'll get assigned, because all the investors in that area that are right for that deal will get it. And that also leads to some other things that we need to consider. Now, past that, once we have both investors and wholesalers covered on the actual finding or assigning the deal, then it's a matter of figuring out what the next bottleneck is and not assuming it yet, because it could be pre-transaction where the investors need funding and lenders, so bringing lenders on as reps, or it could be that it needs more, the bottleneck is more within the transaction. So let's say like dealing with offers on both ends, calendars, so like scheduling walkthroughs and making that much easier for both investors and wholesalers. So investor can schedule a walkthrough real quick, and that wholesalers can schedule their time in a more efficient manner, where they can have, let's say, 2 walkthrough days a week where all their walkthroughs are lined up. But I'm kind of going past the important point of there's one priority right now, and that's focusing on the investor. And the secondary priority is the wholesaler, of actually getting them to list their deals there, because I mean, nothing works if there's no deals. So that's what we're going to talk about now. There's also a few things we need to discuss in terms, because we're getting very close at this point. I don't want to say it's in a couple weeks, because I've been saying that, and that has not been the case. So maybe if I stop saying that, it actually will end up being true. So we'll need to figure that out. But other than that, it's really just understanding of get the product out there. It's the lean startup idea. Get the product out there, get feedback, iterate or pivot if necessary, and keep doing that until you can truly make a Grand Slam offer. And once you get that Grand Slam offer, that's when you can truly make a lot of money. All right, that's all I got for you guys today. Peace.